Mirabel!
Her actions are toxic. Her attitudes are toxic. Umbridge is concerned with everyone being very impressed, so is Abuela.
Open your eyes, open your eyes.
Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Nobody's perfect. You're never gonna get it.
Bruno didn't care about this family.
Miracle is dying because of you.
Is this toxic on Abuela's part? Absolutely. Hello, welcome to Cinema Therapy. I'm Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist who loves movies. This is
Alan Seawright, a professional filmmaker who needs therapy almost as much as the subject of our video today.
Abuela and ENCANTO. It's time for Toxic or Not. It's been a minute.
It has been too long.
Yeah. The internet thinks she's extremely toxic and compares her often, I've seen this several times, to Dolores Umbridge.
The internet, you'll be shocked to learn, isn't right.
Is there toxicity here? Yes, but what is toxic, what is not, and how would you navigate a relationship with someone like this? It's time for Toxic or Not. Let's do it.
Do we need to define toxic?
No. Okay, defining toxic, because that word is bandied about quite a bit.
Sure.
It is corrosive, corrupting, insidious, and pervasive. It is an influence that is destructing and often deliberately so, but not always. So let's take a look. Is she actually toxic, or is she just misguided?
Tonight, this
I love little Mirabel.
will give you your
She's so
gift,
cute.
Mi vida. Strengthen our community. Strengthen our home. Make your family proud.
Well, that all seems good.
Family proud.
Now some people would say, well, she's putting pressure on this little child. I love just the way things work in this house.
Casita is so great. That seems less like putting pressure and more like just having
What
expectations.
do you think my gift will be?
Here's the thing, adults in children's lives play the role of giving them a nudge in the direction of doing something with themselves, accomplishing things.
Right.
That's not inherently bad. I mean, that's Uncle Ben saying with great power comes great responsibility.
Correct.
But you also have to be careful that you're not conveying the message that you have to accomplish great things or you have to make us proud in this way.
Or you have no value.
Any good-hearted person is not going to say those words.
Right.
Do this or you have no value. But the message can still be communicated through disappointment.
Correct.
And so it is a needle to thread. I like to say, if you're acting with compassion and integrity, this is what I say to my kids, then I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Whatever else you pursue, you're giving it your best effort. Whatever it is you want to be, whoever it is you want to be, I'm going to be proud of you. The only thing I would be disappointed in is if you're being cruel to others or you're acting without integrity. And I don't think that's toxic parenting. I think it's okay to be disappointed in that.
Yeah, and for my wife and I as well, we have high expectations for our kids.
Yeah.
Most of the expectation is effort.
If your best effort lands you a C in that class because it's a topic you struggle with, I'm proud of you.
Sure.
Because you applied yourself to something that was really challenging.
Yeah.
So I think that's really healthy. And so far, Abuela doing okay. These are not overbearing expectations and there's not a lot of guilt or shame attached to it. It's just make your family proud, do good in your community.
That's good parenting. Good grandparenting. Good abuelitaling.
That is the best Spanglish I've ever heard. Abuelitaling.
Sergio Felix married Peppa and my dad married Julieta. That's how Abuela became an Abuela Madrigal. Let's go.
We swear to always help those around us and earn the miracle that somehow found us. The town keeps growing, the world keeps turning, but work and dedication will keep the miracle burning, and each new generation must keep the miracle burning.
I wanted to highlight something. We swear to always help those around us and earn the miracle that somehow found us. Abuelita's family has been blessed with casita, and they've been blessed with
Magic powers.
magic powers, and the whole community lives in a lush paradise where everybody has enough.
And there's nobody with machetes riding up to like hack you to pieces in a stream.
They're protected from the outside world. It's a beautiful, powerful thing, and unlike a lot of people with means, Abuela doesn't see this as, well, we got this through our efforts, we got this through our intelligence, we got this through our superiority.
And we need to use those powers to protect our stuff. We're using it to protect the whole community.
Right.
Yeah.
And she says the miracle somehow found us. It's like we've been given a lot, so we have to give a lot. And that is beautiful and healthy. And I think there's a lot that Abuela does that is harmful for this family. But I think in the scathing internet takedowns, probably from people who are triggered because she reminds them of someone they know. For sure. Right? We are missing the nuance and the complexity of, at her core, she's a very good person. And she doesn't approach her neighbors with ego. She doesn't approach anyone with a sense of superiority. And there's no entitlement. I don't know why we've been so abundantly blessed with this miracle, but we have, and we intend to use it to bless the lives of others. We know budgets can be tight right now.
But Upside can help you out with that.
The free Upside app gets you cash back on gas, groceries, and dining.
You just open the app, claim your offer, pay with your card like normal, and get cash back through Upside. Simple.
And yes, it's actually cash back, not points that you'll forget to use or credits that expire.
Listen, every time I've been craving tacos lately, I just pull up the Upside app and I scan for my local cashback opportunity, and I have gotten a lot of cash back on tacos.
Because you eat so many tacos.
Kind of a disturbing amount of cash back on tacos.
Taco cash!
Taco cash!
No, but honestly, every time I need to get gas, I use the app because gas prices add up. And I like the kickbacks.
Upside has given $1 billion back to its users, and only half of that has come to me from tacos.
To find out how much you could earn, download the free Upside app and use the promo code CinemaTherapy to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas.
That's an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas using promo code CinemaTherapy. It's the name of our show.
I know you want to help, but tonight must go perfectly. The whole town relies on our family.
There's the performative bit.
So the best way for some of us to help is to step aside. Let the rest of the family do what they do best. Okay?
Oh. Abuela thinks that she is being kind.
Yeah.
She thinks singling Mirabel out by saying the best way for you to help is to just stay out of it. But it's actually more condescending to do it in an implied way where you're talking down to her. The best way for some of us, not saying who, the best way for some of us to help is to stand back and let everybody else shine.
Yeah.
And this comes down to, you said the performative aspect, the perception of the town and how does our family look. Best foot forward, right? And Mirabel, in her eyes, is not the best foot forward.
From Abuela's perspective, she's not saying it's important for the town to love and respect us. For me, she's saying it's important for the town to love and respect us because of the miracle. It is our duty. And her intentions are good. The results are, Mirabel doesn't feel very good.
Your intentions do matter when it comes to the other person seeing you for you and what you're actually trying to accomplish.
Sure.
What happens is just because you have good intentions, that doesn't cancel out the outcome if the outcome is insulting or causing harm, because the message she's conveying to Mirabel is you're kind of a ne'er-do-well embarrassment. I think Abuela still loves Mirabel. I really do.
Oh, yeah, clearly.
But she doesn't respect her.
Yeah.
And she doesn't value her, because the moment that Mirabel didn't get a gift, she exited the circle of what Abuela values and what matters to her. And so now this is kind of like, well, I love you, but it's kind of like a pity love.
Yeah.
You know? And of course, with Mirabel, what this means is who I am isn't accepted. Who I am isn't loved, respected, or valued. And this comes down to Abuela being trapped in her own mindset. And like most of us, we value what we value. And in order to truly love people, we have to expand that and see, okay, are there talents here that I haven't considered or aren't part of my normal experience palette that whether or not they contribute to what I want, I see the value because here's a person. So this is where we start to see toxicity. This is empathy. This isn't just sympathy or compassion. This is empathy. She knows exactly what this kid is feeling right now. And Abuela doesn't see empathy as magical. And see, look at this. As long as Mirabel had the potential, like this potential to be a recipient of the gift, making our family proud, making us look good, but also doing good in the community with magical powers. She's so proud of her. She's so...
Big warm smile.
Yeah. Now, playing devil's advocate here, if Abuela is the devil, which is kind of mean, but... But look at this. The candle flickers.
Will you use your gift to honor our
it's not really about, in Abuela's eyes, Mirabel being a disappointment.
Strength in our home.
It's about protecting what they have that they can contribute, right? Like, she's coming from a good place.
Well, and as we see later, this whole community, this casita, this gift, all the miracles, is the only way she's felt safe after tremendous trauma.
Yeah, which I'm sure we'll get to.
Yeah, we will.
And Alan Tudyk.
Right.
Because if you don't have a voice part for him, I'm sure there's some wacky animal you can have him do.
For Abuela, it's actually not about Mirabel. In fact, when Mirabel's mom says, hey, please be kind to Mirabel, this is hard for her, like revisiting this because it was so traumatic for her. And Abuela sidesteps that and says, if it doesn't go well, it's going to be hard on all of us.
Right.
Which at once is very harsh because she does need to be there for her granddaughter, and at the same time makes total sense because she is the matriarch, not just of her family, of her community. She feels the burden of responsibility to make sure death, violence, starvation, famine, all these things that may have been part of her life or were part of her life before don't enter this space. And with that pressure, that becomes her singular focus. And it's a place of love. Protect these people that I care about, provide for them. But in doing so, she misses the trees for the forest. Like if the individuals are the trees, she sees the whole forest. And Mirabel, of course, takes it as a personal slight and a personal rejection because
It feels that way.
It definitely feels that way.
She's seen cracks and flickering, and it's going out, and she rushes into the party to tell people how bad things are going.
They were.
And they come back and it's all fixed and she looks
The house
crazy.
was in trouble. The candle was. Abuela, I promise that's enough.
There is nothing wrong with La Casa Madrigal. The magic is strong. And so are the drinks. Please, music. A bailar, a bailar.
How the family rushes in to preserve the facade, to preserve the image. This is where I think I see and understand people making some comparison with Dolores Umbridge, at least surface level.
How so?
Umbridge wants order.
Okay.
Abuela wants order. Umbridge is concerned with everything running shipshape and everyone being very impressed. So is Abuela. And Umbridge hurts people in her path, and so does Abuela. The biggest difference I see is that Umbridge delights in the suffering of other people.
Oh, she's a sadist for sure.
She is a sadist and she wants her own glory. She wants the praise and prestige of everyone kowtowing to her and fearing her. I don't think Abuela wants to be feared. I think Abuela is just constantly on high alert of how do I keep all these balls in the air? How do I keep the magic going? This is why Abuela is not Umbridge. Abuela loves these people. She loves her family, and she's not trying to hurt anybody. And none of this is for her own ego. Which is why they're both toxic in behavior, but only Umbridge is toxic as a person.
Yeah. This is where intention versus result matters.
Yes.
Right? Abuela's intentions, like the results, still kind of getting toxic.
Yeah.
The intentions are not. And this is really interesting. So this movie really hit for me. Longtime viewers of the show will know I have an interesting relationship with my mom.
Yeah.
She is not a toxic person, but, you know, the way she expressed love was through criticism, which did serious, like, long-term psychological damage to me.
Yeah.
Is one of the factors that led to, you know, me becoming an addict and led to a whole lot of therapy that I needed to do. Fortunately, I have done a lot of that work. The recovery work has mostly been done. I no longer blame my mother. And one of the reasons I don't blame my mother is because of her mother. My maternal grandmother, just like Mirabel's maternal grandmother, was obsessed with the public front and how things look, and we must present as a perfect family. She was not a good mom. She was very judgmental of my mother. And so every time I get upset with my mom, because she still criticizes and judges and does things that upset me, and they would upset me, except I've done the work, and I also understand where she's coming from and the strides she has made. And so watching this movie where there's a judgmental grandmother who's like, you are not the perfect picture of my family that I have created, There are parts of this movie that really, really affect me in a visceral way, and I identify with it very strongly.
This is valuable when it comes to our relationships with our family members. Are you dealing with a truly insidious, toxic person who is sadistic and delights in your pain? That's a person to cut all ties with. Are you dealing with someone who has inherited patterns from past trauma or the family that they came from, but is good-hearted and trying, and just the way they're going about it is making a mess of things? That's where family therapy comes into play. That's where understanding and holding a mirror up and having compassion while still holding someone accountable. What Abuela needs is exactly what she gets later on, which is an extension of grace while still being called out on her bullshit.
Yeah.
She needs both.
Well, and my grandmother, to her credit, was raised by 2 addicts during the Great Depression and a World War.
Yeah.
She didn't have a, easy peasy,
No.
wonderful life as a kid. It was horrifying. She made progress. My mom made progress. Hopefully I've made progress. Hopefully my kids will make progress.
And this is why it's so important. The things that we talk about on this channel, they're things that will help break intergenerational chains so that coming generations can grow up in love and security. This family has physical security, but not a lot of emotional or relational security because there's so much fear there that it leads to pressure on everybody.
The crack started with you.
No.
Bruno left because of you. Luisa's losing her powers. Isabella's out of control because of you. I don't know why you weren't given a gift, but it is not an excuse for you to hurt this family.
So now, from a place of protection, she's hurting. And she can't fathom that she is the source of all of it because she works so hard and stresses so hard to prevent it.
I will never be good enough for you. Will I?
And this is the trauma that I got from my grandmother and my mother.
Hard I try.
And it's not big capital T trauma, right? It's lowercase t trauma, but it's still trauma.
Any of us tries. Luisa will never be strong enough. Isabella won't be perfect enough. Bruno left our family because you only saw the worst in him.
Bruno didn't care about this family.
He loves this family. I love this family. We all love this family. You're the one that doesn't care. You're the one breaking our home.
Don't you
The
ever...
miracle is dying because of you.
The posing on Mirabel when she says the miracle is dying because of you, it's so strong.
Yeah.
Such great animation. Shocker from the Disney animation team.
We did a Therapist Reacts to ENCANTO episode, but it's more focused on Mirabel, which you can watch right here. That Mirabel is right in everything she says, except for when she tells Abuela, it's you who doesn't care about this family. Because now she's assuming an intention.
Well, and she's getting defensive, right?
And listen, I get it.
Yeah.
But she's 90% right, but that 10% really matters. Everything Abuela is doing that is hurting the family, she's doing because she loves the family.
But it also shows that Mirabel is not understanding Abuela's perspective completely either. They still need to come together, right?
Well, and that's
which is great storytelling.
That's because Mirabel is getting defensive because Abuela is criticizing her, and they're both emotionally flooded.
Yes.
And one of the most important skills you can learn is when you are feeling angry and emotionally flooded, even if you are 100% sure you are right and you're about to dole out justice, is to say, I'm not going to do this from a place of anger.
Look, justice is going to work just as well tomorrow.
If I'm right now, I'll be right in an hour when I have calmed down and I can address this in a way that's not lashing out.
Right.
And more often than not, after that hour, you realize I wasn't as right as I thought I was. I still stand by this and this and this and this.
Yeah.
But if she had waited in an hour, she would never say you don't care about this family because she knows better than that, just as an example. But is this toxic on Abuela's part? Absolutely. Because there's no self-reflection. I have seen, especially in people of Abuela's generation, people who are the older generation right now, I see an epidemic of people torpedoing their most important relationships because they are failing to look inward and take accountability and say, I'm sorry. It's amazing the amount of destruction that would be avoided in our family relationships. But I also think there are generations that are not practiced in introspective perspective taking and accountability, which means you can have someone like Abuela who is working tirelessly, furiously, anxiously, terrified all day, every day to make sure that the people that she loves have what they need. But she's missing that one key component, and it causes everything just to crumble.
Yep.
And so, as you said, they need to meet in the middle with Mirabel doing some perspective taking and extending some grace and compassion to Abuela's behaviors suck.
Yep, they do.
But they come from a very human place, and she needs love and compassion, same as anybody.
And of course, Abuela really needs to take some perspective because she hasn't taken anybody's perspective.
Just hers.
She's attacking everybody, you know. And I see where people online start going, she's toxic, because that's toxic.
Yeah.
What she did there is toxic.
Yeah.
Did they not watch the rest of the movie?
We are. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Man, I can't hear this song without tearing up.
Yeah. It doesn't help that all Disney characters have enormous eyes, so all their emotions are enormous for the audience.
Also doesn't help that all Disney characters have lost a father or mother somehow in a tragic circumstance.
I love that shot of her reaching out and screaming, and Mirabel looking behind her and looking forward, and you can see the perspective shift happening.
Yeah.
Because she's seen Abuela as the source of my rejection, the source of my lack of self-compassion, my insecurity, and now she's seeing something else completely.
Well, and she's heard pieces of this story, right? Like, this is part of the family lore.
But to see it.
But she didn't see it.
And who wouldn't want to do whatever they could to protect that? And then the song's talking about desorientadas, being disoriented. She doesn't have her partner. She's doing this all alone. Some divine power has interceded, but at the same time, it doesn't change the fact that she is now a widow. It doesn't change the fact that she has to figure this out all on her own. And this is why I can't get on board with people saying she's the villain. You can only say that if you didn't finish the movie. If you finish the movie, you have no business saying Abuela's the villain. She's the antagonist, and there's a difference. She is the oppositional force to Mirabel and what Mirabel's trying to do in Mirabel's growth. But she's a tragic character. And so much of the things that we do that hurt ourselves and others come because we have lost safety.
Yes.
Or we have lost love. And the type of fear that overtakes us and the type of anxiety to preserve what we have and protect what we have. I'm not justifying Abuela, I'm saying I understand it.
Yeah.
And when we understand the people that hurt us and we see their humanity, it doesn't always build bridges. Sometimes they're close to it. Sometimes they're too far gone to hear your pleas or your bids for connection. But if connection and healing are going to happen, they happen because instead of seeing a monster, you saw a person who does monstrous things. And usually it's because they're in great, great pain.
When I talk about my mom and I have a strained relationship, she was not abusive. She didn't hit me. She didn't scream at me. She very quietly and very calmly told me how disappointed she was in the decisions I was making. And the decisions I was making weren't bad. And it gutted me.
I was given a miracle. A second chance.
One of the things I love about this shot is you see the weight, not just of years, but like on her shoulders.
So
and
afraid.
every single thing that she passes by, her head tilts down.
Sight of who our miracle was for. And I am so sorry.
Like you were saying, she was looking at the forest, not the trees.
Never heard of family.
Yeah, in this version, she's seeing Mirabel before she was looking at the candle. Oh no.
Because of me.
But then, of course, Mirabel sees another side to Abuela through all of this. And that people online often fail to recognize. Abuela did provide a life and safety and belonging for this whole family.
Yeah.
I can finally see.
She's neither all good or all bad.
Well, and there's some irony to this, right? Abuela provided all this with no magic powers.
Everything.
Just like Mirabel.
Yeah.
You suffered so much, all alone. So it would never happen again. We were saved because of you. We were given a miracle because of you. We are a family because of you. And nothing could ever be broken that we can't fix together.
See how the sun is rising, Jonah?
Yes, Alan. I love that you give me crap through your tears. Like, this is...
I can't help it.
He sent me you.
So damn good. Something that we struggle with as people is threading the needle between giving people love and compassion and grace. And I use the word grace psychologically, not theologically, but it's very similar, extending to people things they don't deserve just out of love for them and a recognition of shared humanity. And that we're all screw-ups. Like, none of us deserve a whole lot.
When you boil it down, yeah.
So we need grace from each other, but threading the needle between that and protecting myself and drawing boundaries and even keeping people out of my life if the way they show up is hurtful and harmful and actually toxic.
Yeah.
And I think we go too far in either direction. We go too far in this direction, we let people walk all over us. We go too far in this direction, we discard people.
We cut people out of our lives, and we're worse off for it.
Yeah.
I don't have the relationship with my mom that I want. And I never will, probably.
Yeah.
But I have a relationship with my mom.
Yeah.
I'm able to keep the parts that work, and they work great. I love my mom. I really love her. And the message of this movie, the question, toxic or not, right? Is Abuela toxic? Yeah, she's toxic as in parts. But as a person, she's a wonderful, loving, caring person who does some bad things. So she's a person. Don't cut people out of your life because they do toxic things sometimes.
Yeah.
You're just not going to be left with anybody.
The real issue is there accountability, is there humility, is there genuine love, and is there a willingness to change? And this relationship was approaching a place where if Mirabel were in therapy, I'd be like, you tried, she's not getting it, and now it's time to take a step back. But they pulled up the plane just before it crashed. This is the work of family therapy. This is why, if your family is struggling and you know you're not dealing with sadists who don't care and delight in your pain, but you're dealing with loving people whose approaches are harmful or they're just not getting it, please go see a family therapist. This is one of the few times on the show that I'll just give an outright plug and plea for my field. This is what we're here to do, is to help you have these river moments. And they do happen. I've had them happen in my office time and time and time again, and it's beautiful.
Obviously, don't stick around if there's abuse. Don't stick around if there are real problems. But in some cases, change your expectation for what that relationship is going to be.
Yeah.
I had to change the expectation for what my relationship with my mother was going to be, and now I have a wonderful relationship with my mom that is not the one that I want.
Yeah.
But it's still good.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
You're never going to get it.
Toxic or not, toxic actions, yes. Toxic person, no. She is not Dolores Umbridge. Knock it off.
So until next time,
my real gift is acting.
Ay, mariposas, no se aguanten más.
And watch movies. Shout out and thank you to our patrons who get extended commercial-free director's cuts
This
on
one's
our
long.
On our Patreon. Folks like
PG,
Miles Swigert,
Puffly Bree,
Sirius Lee,
and Papa Gerber. Gerber?
Papa Jer Bear. We love you, patrons. Join us over there. You'll get a bunch of stuff you can't get
The
here.
Rur Gerber.
Her Gerber.
Rur Gerber.